Hello, my name's David. I'm reading a story every night this week as part of the City Council's big reading challenge. I want to raise money for the Imagination Library, a charity that gives free books to children in Nottingham. Reading is so important for children, and that's why I'm going to read a story tonight and every night this week. It's called My Father's Dragon by Ruth Stiles Gannett. My father waved goodbye to the rhinoceros, who was much too busy to notice, got a drink further down the brook and waded back to the trail. He hadn't gone very far when he heard an angry animal roaring. "Dang blast it, I told you not to go blackberrying yesterday. Won't you ever learn? What would your mother say?" My father crept along and peered into a small clearing just ahead. A lion was prancing about, clawing at his mane, which was all snarled and full of blackberry twigs. The more he clawed, the worse it became, and the madder he grew, and the more he yelled at himself, because it was himself he was yelling at all the time. My father could see that the trail went through the clearing, so he decided to crawl round the edge in the underbrush and not disturb the lion. He crawled, and the yelling grew louder and louder. Just as he was about to reach the trail on the other side, the yelling suddenly stopped. My father looked around and saw a lion glaring at him. The lion charged and skidded at a stop just a few inches away. "Who are you?" the lion yelled at my father. "My name is Elmer Elevator." "Where do you think you're going?" "I'm going home," my father said. "That's what you think," said the lion. "Ordinarily, I'd save you up for afternoon tea, but I happen to be upset enough and hungry enough to eat you right now." He picked up my father in his front paws to feel how fat he was. My father said, "Oh, please, lion, before you eat me, tell me why you are particularly upset today." "That's my mane," said the lion. He was figuring out how many bites the little boy would make. "You see what a dreadful mess it's in? I don't seem to be able to do anything with it. My mother is coming over on the dragon this afternoon. If she sees me this way, I'm afraid she'll stop my pocket money. She can't stand messy manes. But I'm going to eat you now, so it won't make any difference." "Oh, wait a minute," said my father, "and I'll give you just the thing you need to make your mane all tidy and beautiful. I have them here in my pack." "You do?" said the lion. "Well, give them to me, and perhaps I'll save you for afternoon tea after all." And he put my father down on the ground. My father opened his pack and took out the comb and the brush and the 7 hair ribbons in different colours. "Look," he said, "I'll show you what to do on your forelock where you can watch me. First you brush a while, then you comb, and then you brush again until all the twigs and snarls are gone. Then you divide it up in 3 and braid it like this and tie a ribbon round the end." As my father was doing this, the lion watched very carefully and began to look much happier. When my father tied the ribbon, he was all smiles. "Oh, that's wonderful, really wonderful," said the lion. "Let me have the comb and brush and see if I can do it." So my father gave him the comb and the brush, and the lion began busily grooming his mane. As a matter of fact, he was so busy he didn't even know when my father left. My father was very hungry, so he sat down under a baby banyan tree on the side of the trail and ate 4 of his tangerines. He wanted to eat 8 or 10, but he only had 13 left, and it might be a long time before he could get any more. He packed away all the peels and was about to get up when he heard familiar voices of the boars. "I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, but wait and see for yourself. All the tigers are sitting around chewing gum to beat the band. Old Rhinoceros is busy brushing his tusk. He didn't even look round to see what's going by. And they're all so busy, they won't even talk to me. Horse feathers, said the other boar, now getting very close to my father. "They'll talk to me. I'm going to get to the bottom of this if it's the last thing I do." The voices passed my father and went round the curve, and he hurried on because he knew how much more upset the boars would be when they saw the lion's mane tied up in hair ribbons. Before long, my father came to a crossroads, and he stopped to read the signs. Straight ahead, an arrow pointing to the beginning of the river. On the left, to the ocean rocks. On the right, to the Dragon Ferry. My father was reading all these signs when he had paw steps and ducked behind the signpost. A beautiful lioness paraded past and turned down towards the clearing. Although she could have been seen by my father if she'd bothered to glance at the post, she was much too occupied, looking dignified, to see anything but the tip of her own nose. It was the lion's mother, of course, and that, thought my father, must mean that the dragon was on this side of the river. He hurried on, but it was farther away than he had judged. He finally came to the river bank in the late afternoon and looked all around, and there was no dragon anywhere in sight. He must have gone back to the other side. My father sat down under a palm tree and was trying to have a good idea when something big and black and hairy jumped out of the tree and landed with a loud crash at his feet. "Well," said a huge voice. "Well, what?" said my father, for which he was very sorry when he looked up and discovered he was talking to an enormous and very fierce gorilla. "Well, explain yourself," said the gorilla. "I give you to 10 to tell me your name, your business, your age, and what's in that pack." And he began counting to 10 as fast as he could. My father didn't even have time to say, "Elmer, elevator, explorer," before the gorilla interrupted. "Too slow. I'll twist your arms the way I twist the dragon's wings, and then we'll see if you can't hurry up a bit." He grabbed my father's arms, one in each fists, and was just about to twist them when he suddenly let go and began scratching his chest with both hands. "Blast those fleas," he raged. "They won't give you a minute's peace, and the worst of it is, you can't even have a good look at them. Rosie, Rhoda, Rachel, Ruthie, Ruby, Roberta, come here and get rid of these fleas on my chest. It's driving me crazy." 6 little monkeys tumbled out of the palm tree, dashed to the gorilla and began combing the hair on his chest. "Well," said the gorilla, "it's still there." We're looking," said the 6 little monkeys, "but they're awfully hard to see, you know." "I know," said the gorilla, "but hurry, I've got work to do," and he winked at my father. "Oh, gorilla," said my father, "in my knapsack I have 6 magnifying glasses. They'll be just the thing for hunting fleas." My father unpacked them and gave one to Rosie, one to Rhoda, one to Rachel, one to Ruthie, one to Ruby, and one to Roberta. "Why, they're miraculous," said the 6 little monkeys. "It's easy to see the fleas now, only there are hundreds of them." And so they went on hunting frantically. A moment later, many more monkeys appeared in a nearby clump of mangroves and began crawling around to get a good look at the fleas through the magnifying glasses. They completely surrounded the gorilla, so he could not see my father, nor did he remember to twist his arms. And that's where we leave the story tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Find out what happens to Elmer tomorrow night. And if any parents or carers would like to sponsor our big reading challenge, please go to the GoFundMe website on screen so we can get even more stories to even more of our Nottingham children. Thank you.